Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great week so far. Happy Tuesday. I'm here to do another Moody Talk, and this is number 3 in our fear series because it's October. And why wouldn't we do something that's scary, right? Use the emotion fear. So that's what we're working on this month. And so, like I said, we're on our third Moody Talk about fear and using coping skills and figuring out our body, how our body reacts to fear, and how we can help ourselves to better, bring down the fear feeling, and especially in your body, but also in your mind. So last week we spoke about checking the facts. So checking the facts is a great way to start when you're not quite sure exactly what emotion you're feeling. Sometimes you think you're feeling fear, but you're actually feeling like anger or sadness. And that may be because maybe your mind quickly switches from fear to another emotion. And so checking the facts is really great because you sit down, you think about, like what you're feeling, what's the threat if it's fear, is there a threat, and what you can do to best help yourself through that fear. So this next coping skill, is called opposite action. This one's a rough one, okay? And I know this as proof because I do it a lot. And it's the hardest coping skill for me, at least, because what it means is that you are looking your fear head on, or the emotion that you're feeling head on, and doing exactly what you fear. Pretty scary, huh? Yeah, I find that pretty scary. So, what helps when you're doing opposite action is thinking of it in tiny little steps. So, let's say you are afraid to go to a particular place because maybe you met someone there that scared you, or it's really, really crowded all the time and that gets your anxiety up. So maybe you don't like to go there. So there's a way of kind of doing it in steps. So sometimes people will do that, they get themselves into the store or the place that they fear, get themselves into it a few steps for a little while, for maybe like a minute, and then leave. And then you try it again. You don't even have to try it again right then. You can try it again the next day. And you go back. Maybe you take a little more steps into that place and stay there for a longer amount of time. Maybe if it was a minute before, you do 2 minutes. And then you can leave and you're okay. And in that process, you realize that you are safe and that there isn't going to be anything there that could hurt you. So let's take a look at the worksheets here that I created. So opposite action, a more difficult coping skill to work on. It really is. Like who wants to actually do the opposite of what your body and your mind is telling you, right? It's so hard. So you're facing the fear with thoughtful action. Like I said, if you're afraid to go someplace, you can do steps. You go in just inside the building for 1 minute. Next day, go in a little farther for 2 minutes and keep going until you start to feel as though you can spend like 5 minutes in the place without feeling that, anxiety, that fear, that's feeling scared that something's going to happen. Uh, Taking control of an anxious situation. So by doing what I just said, you can do that, and you're taking control of it. So you're taking control of the time and where you actually go there and what you're actually doing there. So that's very empowering. Noticing your body's reactions. So this is a big one. When you feel fear, certain people, everybody feels fear differently. There's body sensations, there's thoughts, like there's fight or flight, or freeze, or fawn if you're actually afraid of a person. And fawning, I just recently learned about fawning. It's crazy. Something that I do all the time is to, really put on like pleasing skills for someone because you're nervous around them. You're afraid that they could do something or they'll leave or something like that. So fawning is another, skill that we learn to protect ourselves. So noticing your body's reactions is really important. What if you go clammy? Your hands go really clammy. So as you're going through this, opposite action, and you're doing it over and over, are you feeling less of those body signals, right? What is your body feeling now? Is it feeling, more neutral, more laid back? So great, great way to really master opposite action. Okay. So what I spoke about last week, checking the facts. The very first thing you want to do during opposite action is fit the facts. What emotion fits with this response? Just like checking the facts, you're learning which exact emotion you're feeling in the moment. And if it's fear, we can move on from there. Do what you fear. Keep your eyes and ears open on the feared event. Explore the environment around you. So you're taking time to see what's around you and noticing that, maybe there isn't things that are going on that you thought were going to go on, right? Notice your body. How are you standing? How are you breathing? Is your voice steady? So this will give you a cue on whether or not what level of fear you're at, what level of anxiety you are at that point. Remind yourself you are safe. You are going to be okay. Maybe this isn't so bad after all. Okay? This is a great way to teach kids, I think, that have fear of going to a new school or going to a class that they really want to go to, but they get really anxious around other kids, or something like that. If they're going to a new school, maybe talking with the principal and the teacher about going in for a certain amount of time, like a few days before the school starts. So maybe you go into the classroom with your child and they look around, they spend about 5-10 minutes there. And then the next day, maybe a teacher can bring in a student that they know that's going to be in the classroom, and your child can sit down, walk around. They may not even start talking to the other child or the teacher, but just spending time in that classroom or in, the ballet class that they really want to go to, but they just have this real fear of being around others. So I love opposite action, even though I hate it, because seriously, it's so hard to just stare at that fear and say, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it. So take a little time to think about it. What do you fear most? What is one of your biggest fears? And what can you do to just stare that fear right in the eye and say, no, this isn't a thing. This isn't me. I'm going to conquer you, and then I'll be able to do whatever I want in that space or during that time of day, that kind of thing. So I hope that was helpful. Moody and I will be back for a story time this week on Wednesday, and I hope you guys have a great couple of days. Oh, and this worksheets will be on the website and on Facebook. I'll post them also on Facebook. Have a great day, everyone.